Hi, my name is Kableo, and this human next to me is David. So we are two strangers who, believe in the power of story. I capture story through how I speak and how I present. And David's gift is really, one, the speaking, two, he's quite the visionary, but also the ability to capture what is said in ways that invites those who listen and those who watch into the story. And what brings us here today is really an invitation to all of you to say we would like you to engage in the stories that we are unearthing. We have found that a journey began in this country post-apartheid to really have difficult and tough conversations. And we saw this with the TRC, and I still think that to date, the TRC is probably one of the most powerful moments we had as a country to really reflect and to engage. And that conversation is much bigger than just one event. I think it's a conversation that all of us should be part of. And the work that we have prepared and have collaborated to bring to you is hoping to do exactly that. It's a work that invites you to conversation, it's a work that invites you to reflection, but more than that, it's a work that invites you to really dig deep as we ask the question of what does it mean to be human in the 21st century, but more than that, what does it mean to be South African in the context that we find ourselves as being probably one of the most unequal countries in the world, but yet one of the most amazing countries because we have some exceptional human beings, and the human spirit in this country, I think, is something that is exceptionally powerful. And the stories that you'll hear will bring a lot of that to the fore. And so we are here to invite you to conversation, to say to you there is a greater story, but a greater story comes with depth, comes with digging deep and actually allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and have some really difficult conversations. But we want it done in a safe space. And so we hope that this could be that space for you and your community.
Just a little bit of backstory. Like sitting here, I feel deeply privileged to be sitting with Kableo just because of the nuance and understanding he carries in this space. But it's been an amazing privilege to work with kind of like best of breed thought leaders who are grappling with these really important issues that we find at the points of intersectionality within our society, And so we've got Kableo and Hlonipa Magwenya and Taryn Williams and Sia Kumalo and Christian, lots more to come, who've kind of brought offerings to the table of how to engage safely around these really, really tricky conversations. And I just want to acknowledge up front, they're not the perfect answers. That's no way our intention or agenda is to bring perfect answers to the conversations. I think what we're recognizing is that these are just the perfect conversations, and the perfect conversations right now for schools, although they're extremely scary, and the perfect conversations for you as young humans who are reinventing our society. I think the most exciting piece of work that we're doing is that part of these projects is that as students, you're equipped to make a film within your classroom that you submit for markers. And the idea is that these conversations become circular in nature and that you submit those to your life orientation teachers or in history classes, and those become part of the body of work that grows year on year,
Yeah, but I think to add to that, the other side to the conversation around transformation and diversity as a space of conversation globally right now is we've also realized that there's very little content that has been done that speaks about the South African and African context. And I think, the work that Tomfoolery is being called to do and is doing right now is to unearth exactly that. So we're not just creating content for the sake of content, we're creating content for people to engage, to be in conversation, to really dig deep, but also to create content that speaks to our own realities as South Africa. And so please relish the moment, and more than that, watch it with this insight that it is about you and not just us. It is about making South Africa really a country that has the ability to engage, vulnerably so, and remain united in its differences.
Yeah.
Which is something that our generation didn't have. You know,
true.
we never had these conversations.
No, we didn't.
But now we have no chance, right? I don't know if that's the right word, but I feel like there is really you can't opt out
Yes.
of these conversations. Is that we have to have them.
Yeah.
And so the hope is, you know, the body of work that has been created can be used in a way that equips both those who are in what society would call the far left and the far right to come to the middle. So yeah, we're inviting you to the middle. And so hopefully as we journey from whatever extremes we find ourselves, we hope that at the end of this journey, we will find a middle that really preserves all human dignity and allows for brave conversations to continue.
Brilliant, yeah. So 3 things you can do with the material. I think the first is engage with it, like Kableo says.
Yeah.
Come as a human, talk, engage, respect the space, try and respect the intimacy of the space. Secondly, if you want to do something in your school or institution that engages people to talk human to human, there's a link below. You can join us. We're going to be doing a roadshow in Joburg, Durban, and Cape Town, and we're going to try and broadcast those for those who live in outlying areas or areas that are not within that kind of vicinity. And those are going to be trying to equip you guys to take this content into your school environment, you know. And then the third thing you can do is what is the third thing you can do?
Comment.
Yeah.
Comment, like, subscribe.
Yeah, comment, like, subscribe. People feel safe when like a body of work is, people seem to resonate with it. And I think in the transformation space, there's been a lot of, like, let's be honest, there's been a lot of really destructive transformation stuff that's hurt people and divided people and polarized people. And we're trying to avoid that. That's why we're kind of putting it online, which is terrifying. And we just invite you to share and engage with it in a way that makes people feel safe to continue engaging with it. Yeah.
Be part of the journey. Be part of the journey.
Part of the journey.
And I think naturally, you know, we are offering just a few teasers with the online material, and we want to be really upfront to say that, you know, the material will be sold because the creatives and the minds who have been part of this need to be thanked. And so, you know, it's not built for crazy profit, but it's built in a way that allows that those who continue to share the African story and to teach can get a means to want to make a living, but secondly, to actually keep them open so that when we need to work with them later on, it is, you know, with an open heart and mind on all sides. So we invite you to both engage, participate, fill in the form and purchase the work so that we can use it in our schools. And it's not just video, it's not just videos. There's actual coursework in terms of books that has been written out, and lesson plans. So we're not just throwing it in the air. There's been a lot of thinking and collaboration that has happened with different writers and really highly competent people behind the scenes. And so please think about this work as something that has been brought to you by those who really love all human beings and want to see a society that is moving beyond differences and actually looking at how do we unite and remain in relationship. So please be part of our conversation, and we hope to see you in Joburg, in Cape Town, and in Durban, because this work is nothing without you.
It's true.